Gaming is good for you. I'm going to prove it. Hello and welcome to Big Jim Gaming. We have videos every Friday and today is Friday, so let's rock and roll. Just a little reminder, I do bonus content during the week as well. Might want to check it out. I hope you like it. I have been a gamer since I was a wee little fat boy. I first started off with a Tiger Electronic tennis. It was the only thing you could play, but I was hooked. I then got my Sega Mega Drive with Sonic the Hedgehog 2, my first ever proper home console game. From there, I had the original PlayStation with the DualShock controller, so I was one of the cool kids because my mates didn't have the thumbsticks. And Tomb Raider 2 was my first game on it, and I loved it, even though it took me ages to figure out where to go. But that was part of the fun at the time. And from there, things took off. I am incredibly passionate about games. So when I hear things like, gaming's bad for you, you'll have no social skills, you'll never get ahead in life that way, and the rest that I'm sure we're all familiar with, my blood actually boils. I have gone from thinking of it as annoying, like I did as a kid, or you don't understand, to as a young adult, thinking it was ignorance because, again, didn't understand, to now, pure frustration. So I'm going to take the opportunity, I'm going to prove to you, not only is gaming good for you, it's something everyone should do. Categorically, I hope. Let's rock and roll. You'll have no social skills when you grow up. Okay, so you think gaming's ruining my social skills, do you? Let's talk about that one. This is going to be easy. Do you remember COVID? That fun little holiday we all got from life? How did you communicate with your loved ones? Carrier pigeon? I know there's a lot of pigeons out there in the UK, but I don't think I saw any of them with letters attached to them. I bet you used your telephone or your iPad. Maybe you used FaceTime for the first time. Maybe you still use it now. That's communicating through technology. How is that any different than popping on a set of headphones, putting down a mic, and having a chat with my mates that way? Seriously, is it any different? Think of it as a hands-free set. You use one when you're driving, well, so do I, obviously, but I also use one when I'm gaming. Still not convinced because you think gaming will destroy my social skills, do you? Okay, let's think about your friends. What do you do? Go to the football? Go out dancing? Go out for a nice meal? Maybe go to the pictures together? Or just have a bit of a natter about what's going on in the world? Sounds like what you do is you meet up with your friends and you share a common interest. Why can't I meet with my friends and share a common interest of gaming? Seriously, why? It's not the only way I communicate with other human beings. To communicate with anybody with just one method is very unhealthy. Have you ever sent a text message? Congratulations, now you and the rest of the human race as well. Do you only communicate through text, or do you use your voice? Well, you use two methods, don't you? Why can't gaming be another method of communication? We have Facebook, we have ridiculous amounts of social media, actually. I'm not going to name them all because I can't. This is just another way. And I'm not saying that you should never ever go outside, that would clearly be bad. But I genuinely don't see why gaming is not a shared interest with friends that's treated the same way as a love of music or dancing or food or anything else you can name. Tell me I'm wrong. Seriously, tell me. You go out, have a dance, share a bit of nice food with somebody. Me, I'm going to log on and do my best to blow my mates' heads off. But we're still having a chat, we're still socialising and communicating, and social skills are only developed by person-to-person communication. But there is no definition on what that form of communication must be. And I think common sense should clearly prevail here and show that we should use every method of communication that's available. So I'm going to use this, as well as the others. Oh, young man, you'll never have any life skills. Not if you spend all your time on those brain-rotting things. This is going to be a quick one. I will have no life skills by Learning to use and becoming comfortable with technology. I'm pretty sure technology is rather important in the world right now. You can't even get onto your telly without an internet connection now. Well, you can, but if you haven't got a digital aerial, you're screwed. That is the most ridiculous argument there is, and I don't need to go into a big rant about this one. Technology is the most valuable skill you can learn. By using and becoming comfortable with technology, you yourself are gaining the exact life skills you need to survive in the modern world. And you want the new consoles that come out and the new games, do you? Congratulations, you're now keeping up to date with the current levels of technology being released. What a wonderful education you're having. You're a lucky person, and don't let anybody tell you differently. Little side note, everybody always wants you to go outside, don't they? That's what everybody seems to think. If you play video games, you have to go outside. Indoors bad, outside good. Well, thank you Nintendo for the handhelds over the years, so I can take my games with me. And on another note, have you seen my complexion? Forget sunburn, I get moon burn. Send me outside for the day, I'll come back looking like a lobster. Isn't it time you learn something useful? Okay, glossing over the technology side of things, which we've already said, I have learned more about sharks by playing Maneater over the last week than I ever knew. How about Renaissance Italy? That's not something I've ever been interested in, but I actually know quite a lot now because the Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy is my favourite Assassin's Creed games. I've played all 3 of them, or 2.5, depending where you stand on the last one, Revelations. I've played them all numerous times. 5, 6, 7, I love them. I have subconsciously absorbed information into my brain. That's how you learn things, by the way. You absorb information about Italy that I didn't even want to know. But it's in there now, and I can't forget it. Choose another subject. Find a game about it and play it. Will you learn the same amount you would learn in a classroom? Possibly not. But you will learn. And you'll be engaged. Because it's been a long time since I sat in a classroom. And I'm not saying school's bad, school's important. Stay in school. When you're doing something you enjoy, you learn without realising. And because you're enjoying it, you're engaged. When I was at school, I spent most of my time goofing off and chatting to my mates. Hindsight, wish I'd studied harder, learnt more, got a better education. But at the time, I was a kid and I was bored. Well, when I was engaged in those Assassin's Creed games, when I was engaged in Maneater like I have been for the last week, didn't even know I was learning. Prove me wrong. Come downstairs is no good for you sitting up here on your own. That's one I used to get quite a bit growing up. And it wasn't meant in any malicious way or derogatory way about the video games. My parents just thought it was bad for me to sit on my own upstairs. They didn't realise that I was so absorbed in my games, I didn't know what the time was. I'm going to tread lightly here because I am in no way advocating isolation. In fact, and again, let's look at COVID as a recent example, isolation is terribly bad for you. If you are feeling isolated right now, please reach out to somebody. If you can't find anybody to reach out to, there's plenty of helplines you can call, or hell, leave me a comment and I'll reply. Isolation is bad. However, you do need to learn to like your own company. I like my own company, I always have done. I can find many ways to fill the time without people annoying me. When you do go downstairs, out your room on your own, and you're sitting with 1, 2, 3, 4 members of your family, I'd imagine most of the time, you're not sitting there discussing the finite works of Plato. You're sitting in front of the telly. And there's probably that one authority figure that will not let go of that remote, but wants you all to shut up so they can hear what's on the telly. Yeah, that is real good quality time. So much better for you than being happy playing your game. Isn't it time you get off those things and start living in the real world? They're for children. 2 for that one. First of all, the video game industry is one of the biggest, and I do mean biggest, media enterprises in the world. It's only behind television and films. It's huge. If it was just for children, where are all these rich kids? Because I want to borrow some money, because I ain't got any. Adults, like me, who grew up playing games, still enjoy them. If it wasn't for us spending our money and buying them, well, then you wouldn't make any money and nobody would make video games. You would never have GTA 5. You wouldn't have ever moved on from a second one. Innovation costs money. Doing things well costs money. And oh yeah, there's a lot of people out there who have got jobs thanks to the video game industry. So, not for children actually, for all ages. Fun for children from the age of 6 to 100. A little bit like Snakes and Ladders. Also, on the real world subject, have you turned on the news lately? You'll get a message a bit like this. I'm not in any way going to get into real world news, only gaming news, or anything political, because I'm not like that. I've not got an interest in it, and I certainly don't want to make a YouTube channel about it. But I think we can all agree, without me even naming things, because even me listing things off could be seen as political, and no thanks. The real world, right now, sucks ass. Why shouldn't you escape for a few hours into something that you enjoy? Seriously. That is good, solid escapism, and it's actually good for your mental health. Because otherwise, your brain is permanently turned on. No machine can run forever. You need downtime. Whether you get that from having a lay-in on a Sunday morning, or watching a film, reading a book, or playing a game, it's really, really good for you. You simply cannot exist without downtime. And why the hell should anybody else judge you for how you enjoy your downtime as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else and it's legal? The real world sucks. Also, every form, and you can look this up, in the dictionary, I did, just to check. Every form of entertainment can be classed as escapism. So, if you like watching telly, reading a book, watching a play, it doesn't matter. It's all escapism. Sitting and reading Shakespeare's finest play, which is Macbeth, by the way, it's the best one, is no better or worse for you than sitting playing Call of Duty. It's just escapism. That's all it is. We started off sitting around campfires, telling stories, painting on the cave walls. We progressed and moved on, and moved on, and moved on. Before World War II, you used to sit huddled around the radio at night, listening to the stories there. Now we can absorb them in a lot of different ways which suits us better. And if you look at the best video games that sell the best, it's the ones with stories. Just like we used to enjoy sitting around a campfire when we were cavemen. Just in a different way, because our brains have evolved and we need more stimulation. Or at least we've got the ability to get it. And my final point is going to be a short one, but it's the most important one, at least in my opinion, because it's very personal to me. Around 5 years ago, I was very poorly. I'm not going to go into details. And I was pretty much housebound for the better part of a whole year. At a time in my life when everything was changing, I was losing things that I felt that I would have forever. Video games gave me that escape. Rather than people saying, "How was your day?" and me saying, "Crap, I was just sitting here dwelling on how everything's going wrong and I can't do a damn thing about it," I could say, it's actually really good. I've had the new Assassin's Creed arrive today. It's Black Flag. And it is such good fun. It's the best pirate game ever. I've already completed this, and this, and I can't wait. And the story's fantastic. And listen to the historical characters that I met. At what was, up until that point, the single worst time in my life, video games gave me that window, that glimpse, that break, those moments of joy, which I otherwise would not have found. They were the light in the darkness. And I couldn't go outside, ride a bike, play football, go for a run or anything else you nitwits think that you should do instead of play video games. Because I was housebound. And as life continues to challenge me, as it does everybody else, don't get the violins out, they still give me that sense of escapism. That moment of joy. So yes, if I am having a bad day and everything's gone to absolute shit, and I choose to sit in and play a bit of Skyrim, leave me alone, because it's the best part of my day. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have a good part of my day. So what do you think? Do you think any of those points will help get the naysayers on side, or at least give them a glimpse of understanding into just actually how important video games are and why they are good for you? Take them on board, put them in your own words, throw them back at some people next time you're getting challenged, or send them a link to my video and hopefully I can convince them for you. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I look forward to seeing you in my next bonus midweek video before next Friday's. I'll see you soon.